We all love an underdog, don't we? Hi, and welcome back to Zoëthopia. My name is Zoe Robertson, and today I'm here with Mr. Twinkie. And we're going to be talking about the 2019 Joker movie, The Joker, and why we all root for the Joker, aka Arthur Fleck. Now, when I saw the Joker movie, at the first part, I was just like basically brought to tears all the time. The first hour was so sad, and I felt so bad for this man. But I don't think that that is good enough reason to want him to kill these men and create a riot in Gotham City. I think if that was the case, that we just felt sorry for him, then we would really want him to get help, get a happy life, just be well in the society we are, but that he is. But that is not the only thing, or the only element, because we see that this man has such a tragic life, partially due to personal circumstances, but also largely because of the society that he lives in and how the system really goes against him. And a really huge element when it comes to sympathizing with a person is recognition, seeing yourself in that person. And I think that we can really see our society reflected in Gotham City. You know, the rich get richer, crime rates increase, people are isolated, people are lonely, people are screwed over by the system, people are left to their own, they are often not even seen as people. And that is exactly the situation of Arthur Fleck. And I don't think there was one single person in the movie theater who felt bad for Thomas Wayne when he was shot, because he came off as an awfully unsympathetic character. And the same goes for those finance guys. But I will say that the step from not sympathizing with people and not really caring about them is really different from cheering on when they are murdered, especially when they're just overpowered, they are frightened, they are running for their lives. But I personally, from the beginning scene, like when they were messing with that woman, really just harassing her, didn't care at all what happened to them. And I really rooted for Arthur when he killed them, especially after how they treated him. I can't see people who will treat a person like that for no reason as people. They're just monsters to me, really. But other than that, I think we're just all so fed up with society that we want to see the underdog win. We don't want to riot, but how many amongst us would be very glad if Donald Trump was shot? Now, I have traditionally not been, like, I'm not a Marxist, I'm not a huge supporter of the underclass takeover or against the elite in any way. I think that our whole financial system depends upon having a class of very wealthy people whom all they seek is more wealth. But I do despise awful human beings who really will trample on anyone in any way to get ahead, and not only to get ahead but also just for sports, as was the deal with those finance bros. They were just messing with that girl to sort of look like a man in front of each other, and they were messing with Arthur because they felt like they had to defend their honor somehow after he laughed at them, or so they thought. And they thought it was fun because he's a weak member of society. They didn't think he'd stand up for himself. They didn't feel threatened because they were 3 and he was 1. They would definitely not have done the same thing if he was a giant muscular man who was laughing at them and they were just one person. But they're cowards, and the same is with a lot of elitists in our country and in the Western society and in society as a whole. They are cowards who live behind fence gates, who have, I almost said body armor, bodyguards who drive around with black windows unnoticed, who hide behind desks and other people's and shell companies, and won't take responsibility for anything. And I'm pretty sure that everyone who's been screwed over by the political system or the financial system or a elitist douchebag personally in general would like to see them, if not suffer, then at least get what they deserve. I recently watched this movie, I'll put the title in her. Wait, no, I'll look it up. The Laundromat with Meryl Streep and Antonio Banderas and a lot of other people. And anyways, it showed how normal, everyday people, lower class or middle class, get screwed over by different financial institutions, like I can only remember the Norwegian word. Sort of a liability company. The ones that securitizes businesses and gives out the money when the crisis happens. I'll probably remember it, but if I don't, then I guess I'm just an idiot. Anyways, because it shows how you have one company that has the official liability for this firm, but then this firm, the company that has liability, has gotten liability from another company, that has from another company, that has from another company, and eventually you come to a company that is insanely rich, but it doesn't exist, and money can be moved at any time by whoever holds the shares. So essentially, they're on paper worth millions, maybe billions of dollars, but in reality, they're worth nothing, and there's no one to hold accountable, because a company in America or mainly any other country is... Ja? Okej, bara vänta ett ögonblick. Has the same rights, the same legal rights as a person. A legal person. It can thereby be held responsible as a legal person, but no legal person who runs the company, who owns the company, who works for the company, who shares in the company, none of these are held responsible for company, because the company is its own person, and the company makes decisions and goes to suit and gets lawsuits on them. And that is the world we live in more of a macro way. But I think that Gotham City for us really represents or shows us our society in a more condensed way. And though I would hope that most people don't have the troubled past and the excruciating life that Arthur Fleck has, I think we can all relate to being powerless in a system that is just so much bigger than us and so much stronger than us. And thereby, why wouldn't we root for him when he takes down the people whom officials might see as the good guy, but for us, they're definitely the bad guy. That's just my thoughts. Bye.